Hello, everybody. This is going to be another impromptu Q&A session. I was actually told by people that I should schedule these things, and I really should, but I just feel like I'm kind of off the cuff with them. My schedule should be opening up a little bit more, though. Hopefully, at least for I think the next couple months. Yeah, I had some free time today. I've had off a little bit this week. And Yeah, today what I basically got snowed in. So like there was a little bit of like a minor snowstorm, I guess. So I was just like, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just do a random little live stream and hang out with some people and can ask questions and stuff. Maybe I'll see if I can find the link for once so that I can actually maybe share it on social media and whatnot. Oh, there it is right there. I called it a snowy Q&A, which I thought was kind of appropriate considering the weather. It might not be something that makes sense for everybody. Let's see. I've actually been editing another video. I've been editing Joe Loves Movies, one that I've kind of been a little behind. Like I had my own little personal goal of like doing one of those a month, but I got a little behind over the summer. So I'm trying to do one, and I'm really trying to see if I can find a way to kind of manipulate the footage so that it's not caught by bots as much as being something that would be demonetized or more likely to get me caught up in any kind of copyright issue, which, to be honest, I actually haven't had many of those in a while, thankfully. But I'm just like, I'm trying to do more with that. But I'm not going to say what the movie is. But well, it could be something. It's something people voted for in the community poll. If people are curious, yeah. So I posted this. Maybe I'll post it in something else as well. Maybe in Twitter, perhaps. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. That's about that. I was supposed to do a podcast with Walking Double O Dead, and I think that got scheduled. Hopefully tomorrow. Anime Hero, I think, was free, but he might have been busy with something. I was actually kind of busy too. I wasn't really feeling super motivated for a good chunk of the day, and I was like, I feel like I've been kind of busy, so I wanted to kind of relax a little bit. I just felt like I don't know, felt just kind of tired and demotivated, and I was like, well, now I what did I do? I kind of bounced around a little bit today. I watched an episode of The Twilight Zone, which was pretty cool. It's one I'd never seen before. I think it was called The Hitchhiker, and I like a lot of the Twilight Zone episodes. Well, I guess they're not all like that, but I just maybe it was because this one was restored on Netflix, but I really love how well shot it is. I think that's something about the Twilight Zone that I think kind of helps it hold up over time, is that it's obviously a show of the 50s and 60s, and it has some of those sensibilities, but that the kind of weird atmosphere it purports, I think, kind of makes it seem a little more, maybe a little more timeless. But I really liked how well it was shot. It was just basically this woman who was hitchhiking across country, not hitchhiking. She was driving across country from New York, from Manhattan to somewhere in California, just on her vacation. And she actually broke down at the beginning of the episode in Pennsylvania, oddly enough, on 15. So probably not too far from me. I thought that was kind of funny. And yeah, there's basically this hitchhiker that she keeps seeing, this strange man that just keeps seeming to follow her no matter how far along she goes on the road, and it's creeping her out and kind of like making her more tense. And she kind of is like, you see this guy? And nobody else seems to notice him. And of course, there's a twist at the end. And I was just like, it wasn't my favorite episode I've seen or anything, but I liked it. I liked the actress in it. The only thing about that particular episode that I thought maybe separated it from some of the classics I've heard about is that most of the time, the Rod Serling kind of has that narration that sort of just kind of is intersected with the story a little bit. Not a lot, but here and there, he'll kind of give some insight into the character or the theme of the episode. And he's like, this man here is considering a new situation. And I don't know, it's that classic Rod Serling. And for this episode, it was just the woman narrating her feelings about the situation. And she's like, I don't know. Hello, Billy Mount the Third. Welcome. random little live stream here. Feel free to ask questions about stuff if you like. We're just talking about pretty much anything, movies, comics, anime, video games. That's the other thing I've been doing. I Half-Life. I've been playing the original Half-Life on Steam because my buddy Gimli got me that for, was it for my birthday or for Christmas or something? And I think it was for my birthday, and he got me a first and second one, and yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, which will lead me into my next thing before I forget. But the question is, do you remember Rave Master? I uh, I know of Rave Master. I don't think I actually played it or watched it. Hold on, let me double check. I feel like, is that an anime? Is that an anime? Hold on. Okay, yes, Rave Master. Let's see. Rave Master, alternatively the Groove Adventure Rave in Japan, manga series by Hiro Mashima. Let's see, follows a teenager on a quest to find the five pieces of the sacred stone Rave, the title, in order to bring peace to the world by defeating the criminal group Demon Card. As if it's like they are the Demon Card. Mashima created the series based on traveling and difficulties with its serialization due to its length. So from 99 to '05, Shonen, 35 volumes. Let's see, licensed North America by Tokyo Pop. Let's see, and there was an anime adaptation on Toonami in '04. Let's see, people seem to like it for its story and art. On the other hand, localized adaptations have been panned. Okay, so a lot of the stuff, for some dialogue issues and some music people don't like. Oh, I remember, he's like a snowman looking thing. You know what? I feel like I've seen maybe random episodes, but I never really watched Rave Master. I've heard people say they like it though. Uh, oh, the creator of Fairy Tale. Okay, okay, gotcha. That, you know what? Let me click on the image here. Yeah, that actually makes a certain amount of sense. Yeah, that does. That tracks, as they say. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, Rave Master. That I'm gonna say I saw a little bit of that at some point, but never really like consistently watched it or anything. Let me see here. Oh yeah, and where was I? Oh yeah, I didn't get the chance to play Fallout 4 for a while because I had purchased it a little while ago and I finally started to play it, and I had heard mixed things about it, but so far I guess I'm only like 5 or 6 hours into the game, but I really have enjoyed the plot so far. Like I when I do a lot of those like Bethesda or BioWare, those big open world RPGs, which are probably my favorite type of video games generally. I mean, if I want to go for a story, like I mean, I guess I just like RPGs a lot more than I used to. It used to be more of like a shooter, action adventure person, which I still like, of course. But those are the games I find. I mean, and a lot of games now fuse those elements, which is cool. But I heard a lot of mixed things about Fallout 4, and my point is I stick to the main story so that I feel like I can focus on that, and then I might do side things occasionally, but I like to kind of complete it and then be able to move on. So I don't know if I'll do that this time, but I really been enjoying the story so far, and I haven't really built any settlements or anything, but I really like the world. I like how colorful it is, even though it's got that apocalyptic, dirty, destroyed look. There, it's still kind of very colorful. Uh, Bigger comparison to Fallout 3, which I've been trying to go back through and play more of. And like Fallout 3, I still enjoy as well, but I think it's harder and it looks more grim and it's harder to get around. Though I want to actually see if I can track down the Game of the Year edition because I heard about the UFO abduction thing. I'm like, ooh, there's a spaceship. Okay, well I have to play that DLC at some point. So I'm catching up on the classics still. I saw my one buddy play Cyberpunk though, which looked really cool. I don't I might end up paying for that and getting that sooner instead of waiting a couple of years. Though I was told maybe I should do that. So I don't know. I did see that. That looked kind of cool. Let's see. Fallout 4 Bethesda sucks. Billy says after Fallout 76. And aren't they bought by Microsoft? I heard something about that. There was some kind of merger because yeah, there was something about the new Elder Scrolls game. People were nervous about it, like how it might be released or something. I'm not really sure about the details, but Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't play 76 because, well, I mean, I heard it was basically not even really a game that didn't have any NPCs. Apparently, it was all like audio files. So that really cuts down a lot on the story and all the character interaction, which is a big part of those games. I mean, it's a huge part. It's like one of the, I would say, one of the major parts. So yeah, I wasn't gonna check that out, which is disappointing though, because I remember for the trailers for it, I was actually very interested because they had the country roads and it was gonna take place, I guess, in West Virginia as like a prequel. And there was something about just exploring the country like that I thought was really cool. The mountains and stuff seemed like an environment that would be cool to explore. So kind of a shame that it didn't really kind of grow from that point. But if people are watching, please feel free to like and share it and get more people in here so that it's not just me talking constantly. I'd like to have interaction from you guys, and more people are in, longer I'll probably do it. I think maybe I'll go like an hour or something if a lot of people don't show up. I know it is like midnight here, and I don't know. I thought some people might be kind of cooped up at home, but holiday planning and whatnot. No, I never played that one. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. When did that come out? Actually, let's see. Samurai Jack, the Battle Through Time. Gotta get back to the past. Samurai Jack. Watcha. Okay, so, let's see. Action adventure game, Adult Swim licensed, of course. Oh, this was released recently for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, so I could play it on any of those. Mixed to positive reviews. The first Samurai Jack game to be released on Microsoft and Apple platforms. Shadow of a Coup was back in 04. Okay. No, I did not play that, but let's see. I'm going to look up some gameplay then. Samurai Jack. Battle Through Time. Let's see what this looks like. All right. Just got to open up a brief walkthrough here. Let's see. Got to get through the ad about safety, car safety. Long ago in a distant land, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's the intro from the show. Okay. All right. So he's moving around and, oh, he's fighting those robots. Oh, that actually looks really cool. Looks like it handles very well. I like the controls. Whoa. White flash there. Okay. Yeah, I know. This looks kind of cool. Looks like something I'd enjoy, actually. Maybe I'll check it out. It's got, I like how it's got that simplistic design, kind of like the show. Yeah, that looks very cool, actually. Aku's Mines, Mission 1. All right, I won't spoil myself in case I do want to checking that out at some point. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Gotta go back and see. The ending to the game is a lot better than season 5's ending. Oh, you didn't like season 5's ending that much either? Yeah, I think I really liked season 5 a lot. Actually, I rewatched. Actually, I watched all of Samurai Jack because I hadn't seen all of the original 4 seasons. So I rewatched season 5 and managed to see all the originals because I think Adult Swim was doing like a marathon that they put up on their website. You could just watch them all like for free for a month or something. And I checked them all out, and oh man, such a great show. But yeah, the ending of season 5. I kind of felt like the battle with Aku after all was said and done felt rushed. Like they had all this build up, and then it felt like the last couple episodes it was just like so much in a brief period of time. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it was a little bit I don't want to say anticlimactic, but I do feel like it could have been done a little better. As far as like how it resolved, it was very bittersweet. It would have been nice for Jack to get like a nice full on happy ending after all of that, but they had to be gritty. They just had to be gritty. Let's see. Well, not a lot of people on at the moment. So, like I said, like it, share it around, keep sending in questions if you're watching. I see a couple people are watching. They're watching. All right, let me see. Maybe there's some else stuff I could talk about here. Give them something to talk about. All right, well, let's see. I'm curious. What do we got in movie news? Movie news from our reliable people here. Yes, the stuff, yeah, all that stuff about things being pushed off. Is that they have that? Oh, okay, yeah, they got the Mandalorian there. Got Godzilla versus Kong, which got pushed off. Oh yeah, I heard rumors that I mean apparently Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to come back for the third Spider-Man movie, which is awesome. If they make that happen, that's another big kind of parallel universe crossover story with like a bunch of Spider-Man stuff, kind of like Spider-Verse but live action with all the Spider-Man together in like real roles. That would be really really cool. I hope they push that off actually. I really do. Pull that off. Yeah. That would be cool. Let's see. What else could I talk about here? I'm struggling a bit. Wonder if I could. I don't know. I guess I could show off. I don't know. Well, let me see if I have that capacity to do that. Hold on. Oh shoot. Well. Oh, I guess I can't do that. Dang it. Okay. Wow. Well, am I out of things to talk about already? Hopefully not. Um, hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Oh, speaking of Godzilla versus Kong, what are your thoughts on the previous movies to the MonsterVerse? So, like the modern one, American one. Um, I guess overall, I really like it. I mean, there's not too many movies, so I can't really say it's all over the place like DC, and it's not as well up until recently it wasn't as clearly defined as Marvel's was MCU. I really like it. I think Godzilla 2014 was probably the weakest entry. It I liked Godzilla in it, but I mean, probably the consistent arguments or discussions over the years, like Godzilla and the monster fights, which everybody came to see, there weren't really that many of, all things considered. So that was a bit annoying. Godzilla was kind of sort of at the back end of that movie because of the Mutos were actually the main monsters. So I think the human characters were the focus of that movie, and unfortunately, they weren't very interesting. Uh, Bryan Cranston was kind of purported to be the big aspect of that movie that sell it to people, and he was barely in it really. So not that much Godzilla, not that much Bryan Cranston. I still think it's a decent movie, but it's not exactly what I think I wanted. I mean, like it's interesting because it was trying to be this dark, gritty reboot, or I guess return to form in some ways for Godzilla. But the Godzilla character himself in the movie was actually kind of more of a heroic individual with kind of a lighter, more fun superhero edge to him. Like the little moments we saw him were just more fun. So it's like there was a bit of a conflict there with the movie. And let's see. I think Skull Island is actually probably the best one of the bunch, which I'm more of a Godzilla guy. But I really thought that as a film, that one was the best because it had great visuals. Like a lot of movies these days kind of have that Christopher Nolan tendency to have that grayish blue tint that kind of I think takes away from the visual style. Like a lot of those big epic dramatic movies, they're a bit more muted. They're not as colorful. Like that was one of the things that even with Wonder Woman, I think that one was a lot more colorful of a superhero movie. It still has a lot of those foggy grays in there. And I don't know, maybe that's just because it hides CGI more, but it's just really annoying that a lot of movies the last like 10 years or so have just been not as bright and colorful. There have been some exceptions, I think, but a lot of those big epic ones. And I think Skull Island really looked colorful because a lot of it took place during the day. You got the tropical island, you've got the other different monsters. Kong looked fantastic as well. He looked really good. I think it's amazing because Peter Jackson, did so much with the CGI version of his Kong, which was back in 2005, I think. Which I looked at them for comparison. That movie still looks really good too. But Kong in Skull Island just looks so good. Like they were able to animate the apes so well, and I guess very similar to the Planet of the Apes movies recently. Come a long way with that, and I just really liked the fights. And also on top of that, it was more fun, but there was a good balance of fun and drama. And the human characters were also much more interesting too, and engaged with the story. It was all kind of connected in a way that I think worked a lot better. Whereas first Godzilla movie 2014 was just very, very kind of dull and grim, and the main character was like pretty much unnecessary to the story, which is never a good thing. But the most recent one, the 2019 one, it was in the Godzilla. I was like, actually, I forget the title. That's really bad. Supporting fights for Ghidorah, Rodan's in it. I'm really blanking on the title. I'm gonna look it up now. That's how tired I guess I am. Godzilla, the King of the Monsters. Isn't that what it is? King of the Monsters. I think that's what it is. Yep, King of the Monsters. King of the Monsters. Yeah, King of the Monsters. I know I forgot that. I mean, it's just Godzilla's one of his other titles. Yeah, King of the Monsters. I thought was definitely they doubled down basically like what everybody complained about the first movie, how there wasn't enough monster action, which there barely was any, really, at least with Godzilla and classic monsters. This one gave you classic monsters, Godzilla pretty much right off the bat. It's like fighting. There's so much monster battle or monsters on screen doing stuff, which is what we want to see in a Godzilla movie, and they really delivered. And I really was very happy with King of the Monsters because they managed to make these other characters still look really good. Like I was a little concerned maybe they wouldn't, but Ghidorah was true to his original design, but still kind of intimidating. Ghidorah. I always pronounce it different ways. And I thought Mothra looked really great, like actually more insect-like than previous iterations, I guess, have really done because that she's got kind of a folding abdomen, and I think she's got a stinger. So she looks more like a bug, I guess, as opposed to the flat moth. Like she looks like a different type of insect, perhaps. But it was more fun. She was really colorful, and Rodan actually was pretty awesome in the movie. Like Rodan was honestly, I think, had my favorite action sequence where he's up in the sky just destroying the other planes. Like, yeah, Rodan was awesome. Like Rodan was really cool. Clearly, the annoying one that has a rivalry with Godzilla. So that's kind of a classic nod there to their roots. And they still had some moments where they were in. They did the thing where they had the gray CGI fog because Ghidorah has a storm that follows him. So that was a way to kind of bring that along. So some of the monster stuff was kind of obscured a little bit, but there was a lot of stuff during the day, like the Rodan scene, for instance. They still managed to make that really good. So they delivered a lot on the fun monster stuff, but ironically, the human story is fine, I guess. It's just there to kind of, connect these different fights and get us to the monsters. And there's enough drama there. There's enough character stuff there, but it's pretty standard for the typical Godzilla movie. Like it's there, it's fine. Maybe you're kind of invested, maybe you're not. But I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted about that because I feel like a lot of my favorite Godzilla movies, I actually really like the human plots, and I like the fact that humans interrelate, whether or not they're sillier or whether or not it's more serious. If there's got to be human characters in the movie, they kind of have to be there because if like anything under their action movie, it was just Godzilla and the monsters destroying stuff with little to no context, it wouldn't be as fun. Still might be a little fun, but so you got to have that element. And so I think a lot of the best Godzilla movies have at least something in the human side of the plot that's interesting or fun or relatable, because the core of Godzilla is the human drama and the destruction and how we kind of relate to him and bounce off of him, whether we fear him or he's protecting us or however they're using him in the film. So basically, I liked that, but I didn't like the fact that the human element was like kind of like the human plot kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. It's kind of an idiotic supervillain plan, really eco-terrorist stuff, and the mother is like meant to kind of be sympathetic and redeemable. I think it's Vera Farmiga, and no, I don't think it worked very well, unfortunately. But the acting was pretty good, and they did pretty well with what they had. They were more interesting characters, and I was, I guess, more invested in them than I was most of the characters in the first one. Though I did like Ken Watanabe's character a lot. Kind of was sad he died. Spoilers. Went out in a pretty cool way though. And so I think that one is better, I guess, overall than the 2014 one because it is more of a Godzilla movie and it's just more fun and interesting. But I think Skull Island is ultimately the better film because it has a more intricate plot that's balancing a lot more characters that have motivations that work and make sense, and it still is kind of goofy and fun, but you're invested. So I think Skull Island is actually probably the best one. But what did you think? What were your favorites? Um, let's see. Oh, all he really wanted is Daredevil in Spider-Man 3. I've heard that Charlie Cox might come back, and I hope he does because I really like that Daredevil a lot. I hope that they kind of can bring him into the MCU or they have some continuation for that show. I didn't like the way Luke Cage ended when they left that off. That I didn't really like. All the Netflix shows kind of take. I know they want to be darker, but they kind of take all their characters in a route that kind of makes it almost like uncomfortable to watch. They like to almost make them the bad guys, which I guess could be okay, but I feel like these shows haven't been around long enough to do that. That's kind of something I think you do like maybe like in the fourth or fifth season or something like that. I thought it was a bit too early to make Luke Cage but the guy that runs Harlem. Like I'll keep control of boss. So interesting argument, of course, but uh, it's just I don't know. I didn't really like that too much. I did like Luke Cage a lot. I thought Jessica Jones, at least it was good it ended, but I don't know how much people really cared by that point, though the last season he was just like a serial killer. It was just a serial killer. Well, I guess her friend was becoming a villain was actually kind of the see, I didn't like that either. They kept like doing things to the characters that just was like, do we really have to do this? It just sucks. I don't know. I don't know if it's good writing or not. I really don't. They were all doing that. Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx are coming back. Yep, that'd be cool because people liked them. I mean, Doc Ock and that Electro from Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, people liked. Yep, that would be cool. See them back. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Might have been a contractual thing. Maybe it was a scheduling thing. But I think Marvel had a lot to do with it creatively. But I guess they wanted to keep it separate in case something happened when they're planning things out behind the scenes. What can change. Um, yeah. Uh, oh, this is one quiet live stream. We got Billy Mount the Third, or I. And I think somebody else is watching. Somebody else is being quiet when someone's watching us. Let's see. The movie, the Ben Affleck movie. It's funny. I was talking about this the other day. Yes, I actually do like the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. That was kind of his, I guess, his little to be known Batman. What is it? The demo reel, essentially. Um, yeah, that was my introduction to Daredevil when I was a teenager. I think I remember renting it or buying it from Hollywood Video, it was an old rental store, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got it. I really loved that movie. I might actually do a video about it at some point. Um, it's definitely a little more of a guilty pleasure, I think, in some aspects. Like it's hard to say. Like I do legitimately like it, but I admit it's very early 2000s superhero movie. It's got a lot of really cheesy stuff, some tonal clashes. You got a lot of the Matrixy martial arts, leather clad styles there. Um, I thought Ben Affleck was a good Daredevil. I think Charlie Cox is better. Although it's interesting, they still haven't cast a blonde guy. I remember thinking back that maybe it should have been Matt Damon. That would have made more sense because they're friends. Like, I was a Matt Damon Daredevil. I don't know if he would have been a good one, but like Ben Affleck, I thought was a pretty good Daredevil. I thought the movie was fun. I thought it was interesting. Overall, I thought it was a fun, decent superhero movie of the time. A bit cheesy. I think I liked Kingpin. Michael Clark Duncan's Kingpin was great. I really wanted to see more of him in the movie. Bullseye, Colin Farrell was hamming it up, just having a great time. Bullseye, classic. I mean, he was having a ball. Like he was the character. Yeah, and the only real issue I had with the movie, even when I was younger, was honestly the love story. I didn't think they had the best chemistry, and I didn't think that Jennifer Garner really seemed like Elektra, because Elektra was she's Greek, I believe, like kind of this Mediterranean woman. I just thought Jennifer Garner was just oddly cast because she's always like the kind of the woman, I think the girl next door, the mom, like kind of this wholesome, kind of very Caucasian American woman. So I didn't think she really sold the Elektra badass, ninja with a dark past thing very well. And her movie was rough. That was an awesomely bad movie, but that movie was rough. We actually, I think a year or two ago, my buddy Dan and I wanted to introduce him to the movie, and I don't know why, but we actually did a double feature, and I could only track down, or I was so nervous because I was like, sometimes when we were doing the old podcast on Film Fanatics with Dan and Justin, sometimes I'd get nervous. Like, man, I say we would have this thing where we'd select our favorite movies and get to show them. And I'd be like, well, if there's this movie I haven't seen in years and I select it, is it going to be any good? And sometimes I was like, man, I don't even like it that much. But when I showed him this, I was like, okay, well, I've always heard that the director's cut is actually better. I've heard there have been quite a few people online over the years that were like, Daredevil is not that great, but the director's cut is much better. And we watched it, and it actually was better. And when we were going through it, I was able to pinpoint, because I watched the movie so many times, whenever there was a scene that was there, I was like, wow, this wasn't there before. So yeah, I do actually think it improves the whole the mystery, the legal case that's at the center of the story. And Coolio was like a major character in that was completely lifted in the theatrical cut, which I saw. So it's really weird to have an entire subplot, really kind of a major part of the plot, with a whole character completely removed. They filmed this all the like 3, 4, 5 scenes or something completely gone, as well as a bunch of little ones. I think there was another scene with his dad too. Let's see. The Snyder cut of Justice League. There's a lot of people that are really excited for that. Like a lot of people have really been behind that, and I think it's cool that it's out there, and it's like through fan support, Zack Snyder and I guess the studio and everybody's going to work to put it out, because I know that had a troubled production. Zack Snyder had some personal problems, like a family loss, I think, that hit during the production too. So like there is some problems, and I think it's cool that it still he got a lot of support and good interaction with his fans to do that. I think it's very cool. I like a director's cut, and I feel like that's been something I've been talking about with my friends more about, like what the actual cut of a movie is you consider to be the main one. I know Godfather 3 had one that came out recently, and got the Blade Runners and Apocalypse Now's that got a bunch of cuts. So like, which one do you consider the actual film when you're talking about it? Does it count if you didn't get to? I mean, I guess if the director gets the chance to make the movie they want to make, if it's released at any point, I guess that's ideally the one, theoretically. I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I don't really care that much. Okay, for instance, Batman v Superman, I thought was okay, and the I think it was the extended cut, director's cut, whatever. That one added a decent amount more of a plot there with Lois Lane and stuff, and it did actually make the movie make more sense, be more coherent. It did improve it considerably, but it was much longer. So it's like I feel like it'll probably make the movie better, but it's not going to make the movie excellent. That's the thing. I think, like, for me, the problem, Justice League, the cut we got was, once again, tonally all over the place, felt very rushed and underdeveloped in parts, very mediocre. And I never really wanted a Justice League movie to be mediocre. And that's something that I've kind of said a lot over the years, is like, I was disappointed that like this big epic superhero movie just ended up being kind of mediocre. So yeah, that did kind of, so I'm like, I'm sure it will improve it. It's very, very likely it will improve it, but is it going to make it like a masterpiece or something? I don't think so. Could be wrong, but it's possible for sure. Let's see. Billy's bringing the questions. Thank you. Let's see. So, soundtrack to Daredevil, the movie, was the best soundtrack. Yeah, all the new metal and stuff. Oh, I lost myself. Wish I was someone else. Yeah, man. I think that was my introduction to Fuel, which was, I believe, was briefly based in my hometown here. That was the yeah some remix or something. I won't back down. Is that what it is? Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. The the Daredevil soundtrack was like the new metal soundtrack. That was that. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's right. I mean, what? I mean, talk about iconic. I mean, you can't. I don't know if people remember it now because I guess obviously the song and band has eclipsed that movie, but I consider the Daredevil film and Evanescence to be, interchangeable practically. I mean, they certainly they're one and the same. But yeah, no. But actually, when Elektra's training with the the bags with Daredevil's face and Evanescence, Bring Me to Life come on, it's just like it's classic, but it's so corny. It's great though. It is a great soundtrack though. No denying that. Really, it does rock. It really does. Um, you want Colin Farrell to come back as Bullseye? Oh yeah. I wonder if he'd do it. I feel like he probably would. He probably would. He has aged pretty well. He looks about the same. He could probably totally do that. They bring back. Yeah, that would be great. Actually, that'd be really great. Oh, so you prefer the Daredevil costume in the movie more? Okay, okay, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I think I do too. Actually, I liked the one in the show, but yeah, the one in the movie does seem closer to the costume in the comics to some extent. Yes. Now, more questions. The 2004 Punisher movie. Well, you're bringing up stuff that's been coming up a lot lately. I That was another gift actually. My mom buddy Troll actually got me the Punisher movie from 2004, which is still probably my favorite Punisher property, which might sound a bit controversial. But I really couldn't get into the Punisher show that much. Though I do think that version of the Punisher is probably the best version of the Punisher I've ever seen. I like that actor a lot. I always forget his name. Is it John Bernthal? But yeah, from The Walking Dead. Shane, he was very good. I think he was probably the best actor to portray and the best version of the character. I liked him a lot in Daredevil, but uh, yeah, I really like the Punisher movie. I think it's more fun, and the Punisher's always been a character that's difficult for me to find super likable. I know a lot of people do like him, and I can certainly see the appeal, but he's never really worked that much for me to follow consistently. But I like the movie though. I do like the movie. It's pretty decent movie. Also very similar to the time. I don't know if I like that more or less than Daredevil. I think they're probably about the same level, honestly. Like, yeah, yeah. I think that Daredevil feels more like a comic book movie, perhaps. But Punisher has I like all the characters in Punisher. I like all the supporting characters, and I like to get some of his villains in there. Yeah, they kind of really up the ante with his origin story with the whole family, everybody being slaughtered. Yeah. Um, Man, what a quiet night. I thought that with the storm and everything, maybe people are going to bed early so they can go to work. But man, everybody is so quiet. I don't know. What should I talk about now? Trying to think what else I've been up to lately. Besides editing and stuff, I'm editing well, I got to go through and work on my book I've been working on. I'm working on this fantasy novel. I'm kind of editing it at the moment, but I have to slacked off on it a bit because I was kind of busy. So I want to finish that, and I'm hoping to. I'll probably put an announcement here or a couple other places about it. Maybe I'll get it out probably early next year. I'm hoping maybe in a month or two. Probably put it up on Amazon or something, Kindle. That's what I'm thinking. So that's something I've been working on. And else? What else? I feel like I'm drawing a blank here. What storm is it? I actually don't know. It's if there's a name for it. There's a snowstorm that hit us today. It hasn't really been that heavy. It's just been consistent. I was actually out a little bit earlier in it briefly. It was like slick at the time, but we got some snow here in central Pennsylvania, and so everybody's kind of inside right now. Though a lot of people are probably heading to bed at this point. I was thinking, I wasn't really doing much earlier today. I probably should have done this sooner, but it made more sense. But like I said, I just wasn't feeling motivated there for a while. Have you watched the Marvel anime series that aired on G4? Which ones? There were the anime ones. The was it Iron Man, X-Men, and was it something? Was it what else was there? There was something else, wasn't there? G4. Let's see. Marvel anime series. Oh yeah, X-Men, Blade, Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers. Let's see, G4. What was that? G4, Marvel anime. Okay. Yeah, between G4. Yep. So Iron Man, Wolverine, X-Men, Blade. You know something? I never watched any of them. I feel like that's something that definitely probably has a place on my channel somewhere. Like I'm surprised I never talked about them, but it's I I don't know actually if I have a good answer for that. Why I didn't watch them. Well, actually I do. I didn't know if they would be any good. I've heard they're decent. You have to tell me. I just know that I had a feeling that it might be something that might be a little bit off because if it's made by an anime studio, then I don't know. They often try to do like original stories and maybe not have classic villains. So I wasn't really sure if it would be something. It would feel like an X-Men comic or something. But then again, I know that Marvel's very popular in Japan. They probably tried to adjust this, so they might have been very good. But I heard, if I remember correctly, that the X-Men one, I think the Wolverine one, the Blade one, I heard were really good. I think the X-Men one was decent, and I don't think people like the Iron Man one. But yeah, I never checked it out. I was kind of like curious, but I was like, I don't know if this will be any good because it's kind of like Gotham Knight when they did that anthology of anime shorts for Batman back in the day. Like I kind of liked that back in the day, but it was a little uneven. But then I guess that's an anthology, so it's not as consistent. Might like some shorts more than others. Yeah, but I didn't actually watch those. Did you? Were they any good? Let's see. I'm gonna see what was there a reception in here. I don't know if they say actually. It's like don't know. Do I like anime series based on video games? I'm gonna say probably not. Oh, Hemokim, nice man, nice. Thank you. Annoying day at work. I had off today. Yeah. What was up at work, man? I I was talking to Lunar Spiral briefly. She was actually having a slow day at work, from what she told me. So that sounded good. Yes, welcome, Hemokim. Please, I was telling Billy and whoever else is watching to like and share and get more people in here so that we can keep it going. Just hanging out, talking about stuff. But let's see, anime series based on video games. I guess the only one that I can really think of, honestly, is Pokemon that I watched consistently as a kid. That one I guess I liked, but I remember they made a Dot Hack anime series that I think was like a prequel or something. I didn't watch any of it though. I think there's a Persona anime, but like yeah, the problem is I'm not until recently I didn't really play that many video games. Like I'd play them in spurts. I'm a very casual gamer, so like I'm catching up on classic stuff. So chances are, if there was a video game anime, like an anime series based on a video game, I probably didn't know about it or didn't have much of an interest because I didn't have anything to go off of. I feel like, well, I'd want to play some of the game or something. Fatal Fury? No, I don't know about that one. I've heard of it. but I don't think I watched any of it. Let's see. We got Hemokin. We got Billy Mount third, and a mysterious third person watching. But who is watching us and not saying anything? One of those people. Yes. Yes. Let me see. I'm gonna check and see if no. No, I don't think so. Hold on. Dang it. Well, man, what else? It's like I was so enthusiastic about doing this. And I'm like, I guess I needed more questions to fuel me because I clearly could talk about something, but I don't know what to talk about specifically. I'll tell you what, let me look at something. It'll jog my mind while you guys are thinking about stuff. Let's see. We got, what did I talk about? Well, live action Black Lagoon series that's similar to The Boys. You mean in terms of like how violent it is? That would be cool. I feel like Black Lagoon is probably one of those series that wouldn't be too difficult to bring to live action because it was a pretty realistic anime from what I remember. I'd have to actually. I didn't watch a whole lot of Black Lagoon, so that was another one back in the day that people were like, that's a classic, and I need to check it out. Actually watch more of it. But yeah, that one that one was not really fantastical. So I think that's the key. But then again, I brought this up before. I think that is definitely the safer route if they want to adapt anime to live action is try to go for stuff that's less fantastical because you don't need to worry about the special effects, and that's where stuff tends to be more cartoony and much more anime-esque, so exaggerated. So I think that's where a lot of the problems kind of come in. So Black Lagoon would be a good candidate, but I think I mentioned in a video or something that I think the interesting thing is I think a lot of the stuff that people really want to see, like One Piece or Naruto or something, that's going to be the hardest stuff to bring to live action. Like, would people really want that? I feel like a lot of people that you'd think would want to see that would be like, no, they're making it live action, but like it would be. I don't think it's impossible, but it might be. You'd have to have a lot of money and effort put into that. Jump Force Season 3 might be in the making. Oh, nice. I still didn't play any Jump Force. I've been told that I should, maybe on Twitch or something. It looked fun. I kind of thought that one was at J-Stars a couple years ago was pretty fun. It looks similar to that. Thoughts on the Disney remakes? Oh no, that's something I could talk about. All right, I'm going to pull up the list so that I don't forget because I'll probably miss something here. Please feel free to, once again, like it, share it, get more people in here. Please send in questions. It'll help me kind of think of something to talk about. And the more questions come in, the longer I'll do it. Though apparently I don't need that much because I'm going off on all these tangents. So I do appreciate the little nuggets to keep me giving me something to entertain you guys with. All right, so Disney remakes, Remax. I can't spell Remax. Disney Remax sounds like a new service, right? There's Disney Plus, and then there's Disney Remax. Remax, HBO Max. That's probably what I'm thinking of. HBO Remix. Okay, so wow, there's actually been a lot. Theatrical films. There's actually no list for the remakes. Disney. Wait a minute. This list. Okay. I guess these are all there. All right, so that's technically a remake. All right, so we're not going to talk about 101 Dalmatians. I guess Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, we're not really going to count. Okay, so I guess you kind of could, but that's sort of its own thing. Well, Maleficent, I like the concept in some ways, but I think that my biggest problem with Maleficent was, well, first of all, I thought visually, once again, it had some cool visuals, but it was also kind of dark and gritty and ugly. Like I thought they made the CGI fairies ugly. Okay, but they were trying to show the interesting aspect of Maleficent's character to try to make her seem more sympathetic, more complex, which I think is always a good thing. But I don't know how well it was sold in the story, and it also felt a little wrong to me because Maleficent is like, the mistress of evil. She's like one of the great classically just evil manifestations in Disney. So I don't know, I thought that might have been a bit of a disservice to her, my view of her. So I have mixed feelings about Maleficent. I actually thought Cinderella was very good. Cinderella, I don't think it's as good as the original animated film, but it definitely tries to expand the story a little bit in some ways that are better. And it's also visually very good while also paying a good homage to the original. So I thought Cinderella was very good. I actually like Jungle Book better than the cartoon. I never liked Jungle Book that much. And I thought what they did with the animals was amazing. That's a young actor who was basically just kind of there doing the whole thing on green screen was amazing. Uh, so yeah, I really like that one. Beauty and the Beast, I feel like I'm a bit of a minority. Well, maybe not entirely a minority, because I know that Dan really likes it. I think it's a very well done movie, but I don't think it adds enough to really kind of justify it because the original is a classic, and I just don't think you needed to do another one. Like, I thought it was good, but it didn't do too much that I thought was really necessary. So Beauty and the Beast is fine, but I could take it or leave it. I didn't actually watch Christopher Robin yet, which I don't know if that's technically a remake. I thought Dumbo was actually not bad. I kind of like Dumbo. I didn't watch Aladdin because I had no interest in it. Lion King, I thought was a complete just like look. This once again, I guess they used the same John Favreau again, the same technology to kind of make those photorealistic animals was very cool on one hand, but the one of the great appeals of the original was how colorful it was, especially with the dance sequences when they kind of go into the fantasy sequences where the songs, like it gets very cartoony, and you're actually much more limited by making something look more realistic. And when they talk, it's kind of weird. It's once again, it didn't really add anything or do anything. It was actually almost a shot for shot remake of the original, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but I don't really know why we're watching this. So yeah, that one I was meshed with. Lady and the Tramp, I had no interest in. Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies, so naturally I had no interest in watching the new one. Maybe I'm being a bit stubborn about it, but I feel like I'm gonna feel the same way about most of them. Like they do a lot of really cool stuff, but I don't know if it's really necessary. Like I don't really know like if it's gonna pull me away. Like my nostalgia for the other ones makes me just kind of want to watch the other ones again. Like I don't think I need to see another version of them unless it's doing something very different, which at least Maleficent kind of was. That was sort of its own thing. But once again, I didn't really like that one too much either. But at least it was more original. But yeah, I have very very mixed feelings about those. I guess, to be honest, I guess that might be the answer for that. Let's see. Oh, got some more questions. Oh my. Okay. Uh, you think the MK movie will be any good? You know what? Let me look up something about it because I don't know much about it. I know that it's coming out. I think this year theoretically. 2021. Who's directing it? Anybody I know who's doing it? I'm just like I really don't know much about it. Otherwise, I'll just say who knows. Simon McCoy, who I've never heard of. Don't know any of these people. No idea. No clue. Mortal Kombat has been on a hot streak last couple years. It's I know the last couple games they've had more of a story. There's been more of a like people have just been saying they've been really good. Now they've had like a lot of the DLCs putting in other characters like Alien and Predator and Terminator, RoboCop. They put stuff from the '95 movie in there recently, some skins. So like they've had a lot of fun stuff, I guess, with those that just really enjoyable to play. So Mortal Kombat has you know, I guess it had a kind of a interesting run with like one of the best and one of the worst video game movies ever in its limited filmography there. So I think if they learn from what worked and what didn't, I think that there's a potential there to be respectful. The good thing about Mortal Kombat is the story. I'm sure there is much more of a lore to it, but the basic story isn't too complicated from what I understand. So you don't have to stray too far. But is it going to be R rated? That's the question. Because I know that's what really people want to see. But then again, marketing it towards a wider audience, a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers, like Mortal Kombat, I'm sure. So that's a difficult balance. But I think it's very plausible. They did a good one before. I think so. Like they did a decent Mortal Action, a Mortal Kombat movie before. So I think they could definitely do another one again. I don't think that was something that's that difficult to replicate, but making movies is hard. So it's hard to say. Yeah, yeah, anime live action does tend to suck, unfortunately. That Full Metal Alchemist movie made me sad. Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. Netflix went well. Netflix, when they put together an original property or something with a fan base, they seem to really like put the money in, put the effort in, try to pay respect. Like they do try to do good stuff to make a good product. But some of their anime stuff has been a bit iffy. I thought, the Bleach movie I thought was okay. But the Full Metal Alchemist didn't like, and that Death Note one, as we know, was just like hilarious. That was something else. Oh man. So Cowboy Bebop, I'm I feel like that's 50-50. Like I want to say like that one is one, just copy Firefly. It's basically what they did for Bebop anyway. They just said, hey, let's look at Bebop and make Firefly. That just do that. Try to emulate that as your base, I think. And it doesn't. I don't think that's too difficult to do. But once again, the Netflix anime stuff has been the live act. It has been really iffy. So I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Let's see. This to send this stream on Twitter. I guess you can share a link if you want to. You can, please. I think just do the hyperlink and you can share it that way, I guess. Oh, you did already. Look at me not reading stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime reboot that's faithful to the manga with less focus on the card game. Yeah, I've heard the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga is pretty brutal, so I'm sure people would like that. Shadow Games idea. Lion King same movie, yep. Oh, hey, Hero, yeah, I was looking for you. I didn't see you on Facebook. Dead said he's got to do the call tomorrow, so maybe we'll do it then, I guess. But I might chat with you a bit after this is over if you want. I'm probably not going to be doing it too much longer. Yeah, I didn't see Netflix's Mowgli. I thought that looked interesting too, but it looked too similar. Let's see. Mortal Kombat, what are your thoughts on the anime movie Scorpion's Revenge? I didn't see it yet. I was curious about it. Was it any good? Let's see. Oh, yes. Big O is in a live action work. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I'll tell you what, people. If you want to, you can send some more questions before I go. Going for about an hour, which was originally planned. If more people had come in, I might have gone a little longer, but looks like it's not really blowing up too much today. So send in a couple more questions, and maybe I'll wrap it up here then. Let's see. Looking at my library. Gotta do some Samurai Jack stuff. Got some Simpsons I've been watching too, which has been cool going back and checking that out again. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Gotta go and look through some of this stuff and see if there were any more people that asked some things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that movie actually. Yeah. So It looks like it's quieted down there. Yeah, yeah. The Simpsons probably should have ended a long time ago. To be honest, probably. Uh, Original story is darker. It was made before the Disney remake. Oh, I think it was released afterwards though, so that kind of might explain it. I might check it out. All right, yeah, that's cool. It's just on Netflix, so yeah, I might do that for sure. Um, yeah, well, I think I'm getting a little tired of talking, so I guess I'll wrap this up. But do appreciate people dropping by. I'll probably do another one of these in the future. Um, I'm working on a video right now, so hopefully I'll get some more to you guys in the near future. But I'm going to be doing a call here with Walking Double the Dead, maybe Anime Hero as well. So hopefully you'll be seeing them in some future podcasts and whatnot as well. So before I sneeze, I'm going to end the stream and say, stay magical. All right, everybody. See ya.